In 2020, just by happenstance, because I love to walk around the neighborhoods of Los Angeles, I decided to go explore the Truesdale Estates area. And one of the reasons I did this was because when I was a little girl, my family and I came to Los Angeles for vacation, and we were driving around the Hillcrest area, and we came across the home of Danny Thomas. And I remember we were just transfixed because it was just this gorgeous house. You know, we could only see through the gate, but it was a beautiful home in a cul-de-sac type area. And I remember we were just kind of amazed that he was in the house. I mean, we just assumed he was in the house. He probably wasn't. But my sister and I were just kind of gaga over the fact that, well, Danny Thomas is right behind this gate and he's in that house. And what we could see was just this gorgeous mansion. So you can imagine my surprise when I was taking my walk in 2020 when I came across this. It was gone. The whole place had been demolished. I could not believe it. And recently too, there was still equipment there, fresh dirt. It was absolutely heartbreaking. It was such a landmark, and now it was gone. The only things that were left were the gate and the two ceramic pieces outside of the house on either side of the gate, one of which was a family crest. So Danny Thomas, of course, was a very, very famous comedian. He founded St. Jude, the incredible charity that helps families that have children with cancer. And he bought this property in the late 1960s. It was about 2.5 acres. And he built the mansion on it, which I think was around 18,000 square feet. The family sold the home in 2000 for $15 million. And the buyer of the home at that time renovated it quite extensively and gave it that Moorish design. Of course, Danny's family includes the famous Marlo Thomas, and who can be seen in this photo here from Batgirl fame. And a lot of people ask why families would want to sell these homes. And I've worked with enough heirs and heiresses at Bonham's auction house where I work to know that two things: that these houses are incredibly expensive to maintain, the taxes are exorbitant. That's the biggest reason. And the other reason is that these people who have lived there all their lives are not as fascinated with these houses as we are. They may have good memories, they may have bad memories, but they don't necessarily want to live in the same house that they grew up in, and need to just move on and live their lives. Interestingly, when I originally posted these photos on a Facebook group, Danny Thomas's grandson wrote to me and told me that he was touched by what I had written, but also that he had so many special memories of that home that it was very sad to see it go, and that he did get one last time to go through it before it was demolished. But he was such a nice person, and I just thought that was so nice of him to write to me. Incidentally, the Elvis Presley home that he had in Los Angeles, also in Truesdale Estates and next door to the Danny Thomas property, is mercifully still there, and hopefully it will never get torn down. In the end, the Danny Thomas house changed hands again in 2017 when it was sold for $65 million, and then, of course, as you can see, was demolished in 2020. I know this is pretty corny, but I was amazed at the irony of this beautiful flower growing next to the satellite at the demolition site of the Danny Thomas home. Maybe it's a sign from Danny Thomas saying that it's okay, that the beautiful memories are still there.